Building this house was an 8-year epic for Jane Troughton and Greg Courtney, set in motion by shortfalls in water and electricity supplies. Taking the approach of what they could do for their environment, the couple renovated the energy and water inefficient home that once stood here, then set about creating a model for living sustainably and in style.
We cover quite a lot of green homes, but I think this sets the benchmark.
Well, it might be the greenest house in the country. We've certainly tried to consider every possible green element, from design to technology to building materials and, of course, my beautiful garden aspects.
Amongst their challenges was finding builders and suppliers with a similar philosophy of recycling and reusing whilst not compromising on aesthetics.
There are many countertops that look like this, but this one has got 60% recycled content.
Wow.
A lot of people like hardwood kitchens. They're ripping out trees from the rainforest. This is bamboo, which I think is equally beautiful.
Absolutely.
It's a sustainable, very sustainable, fast-growing material. Our appliances are all energy efficient, so we put quite a lot of thought into the kitchen because it is the most important space in the home.
Many of the paintings and wall treatments are homegrown too, the work of Jane and her daughter Caitlin.
This place is really alive, looking at the roof and even the artwork.
We really thought very carefully about the design of the house in terms of lots of windows, lots of opening doors. The garden and the house are one and the same.
The way indigenous plants grow in this climate, gardenscapes are quickly established.
So we installed the skylight, Lorna, not just to let more light into the house as if we don't have enough, but we wanted to be able to grow plants that would hang over. And of course, once you have plants, you have birds, and we have a lot of fun sitting on the couch watching the birds trotting across the glass on the top.
The family's eco-commitment extends to decking that looks like wood but is actually recycled plastic. It's the kind of innovation that soon-to-be chemical engineer Caitlin may well pursue when she's not painting.
Caitlin, clearly life imitates art.
Yeah, I've always been really inspired by my little angels, my big dog Charlie and Georgie and Lucy. Even my wall was inspired by a henna tattoo I got in Zanzibar, and after that I was obsessed and I had to bring a piece of my holiday home with me. And the quilt was made by my lovely grandmother, and so I had to have that in my room as well.
This room really reflects your personality. Are all the rooms pretty similar?
No, I think every room is a reflection of our own personalities. My room, you can see, is very natural and organic, whereas my brother's is a bit more structured and geometric, but also it has the nature element through it. And I think you'll see it in my mom's room as well. It's all a piece of ourselves.
I'd love to see your room, Jane.
I can't wait to show you.
Energy efficiency is in this home's DNA.
Durban is actually quite humid, but your house is very cool.
We spent a lot of time thinking about how we were going to avoid using air conditioners. One of the things that we did is we installed these floor-level windows, and they're right next to the pond, and they draw the cool air across the water and straight up through the center of the house. And then the other thing we did is we put in windows above eye level in the bedrooms so that we get the cross ventilation that way as well.
Even at the heart of what's traditionally the most luxurious room in the house, Jane's eco-wise philosophy starts from the ground up.
We've got some interesting green elements here. We've got carpet made out of recycled plastic bottles. In terms of furnishings, a nice mix. We've inherited some lovely old pieces and collected over the years, and we've got some of my mosaic art in here, obviously the botanicals. Once again, you can see that we really love colour and enjoy expressing ourselves in that way as well.
I just love that in every area of your house, you just never let us loose of your beautiful garden.
This was one of the most exciting installations or parts of the build. I had wanted a roof garden for the longest time, and it was really, really exciting to bring all the plants up here. I put them in myself, and it has exceeded my expectations. And we're really blessed because around we have these huge trees, and because the neighbours are kind of blocked, we really feel like we're living in a nature reserve.
The garden below includes organic vegetables grown with permaculture techniques. Their solar heating allows them to exist off the grid. Runoff water from the roof is harvested in a vast underground tank, and their pool is as green as nature herself.
Eco-swimming pools use no toxic chemicals like chlorine, etc. So the minute that you take the chemicals out of the equation and you add a few plants, you have an ecosystem.
Wow.
And the birds and the wildlife, the dragonflies and butterflies love the space. And we've got shrimp and crabs and little fish. And if you want the most expensive pedicure on the planet, stick your feet on the step at the swimming pool and the little fishies will nibble your toes. And it's just a really, really beautiful experience swimming in this pool because the water is gentle and soft and doesn't burn your eyes.
Two key allies in realizing this dream have been landscaper James Halley and architect Chen Sagnelli.
What were some of the challenges with the structure?
We were faced with a home that was existing. It was one of those traditional Durban North homes, solid walls, minimum windows. And Jane's vision was to open the whole house up, but also with that to keep the same footprint and work with what we had. So we really had to minimize the amount of support, and that brings the indoors and the outdoors in, and I think that's been a big characteristic of the home.
A walk around the incredibly diverse indigenous biospheres is a lot like visiting the famed Durban Botanic Gardens.
Greg and Jane are committed to environmental conservation, and that's really reflected in the garden that they've created. We have a wide diversity of plant habitats. We have forest in the corner, grassland at the back, we've got succulent thicket on the roof.
When Jane discovered his model for a vertical garden, she commissioned James to build one for real.
This is our next plant habitat that's been created in the garden. This is the moist cliff face. It's a basic hydroponic system. The water is pumped up to the top and it slowly seeps down through the fabric, keeping the plants watered and providing nutrients. Our main mission here was not to simply display plants on the vertical, but was to create a diverse habitat. And the really exciting thing is how this wall is developing over time. We're getting all sorts of new species actually colonizing beyond what we designed.
Some of the homes we feature have these huge sculptures as focal points, but I think this vertical garden really is testament of your vision.
What I love about this wall is that as visitors arrive, it's one of the first things that they notice. And it really kind of symbolizes who we are as a family, our lifestyle, our passion for the environment. And I just hope that in this project, through my blogging of the journey, that it will motivate and encourage others to want to do similar things and create their own eco-homes with their own designs and preferences and aesthetics, and also have fun in the process.
Well, Jane, I've learned a thing or two which I'll definitely incorporate in my home.
So much has been developed making this vision a reality that for those wanting to follow in Jane and Greg's intrepid footsteps, she's documented everything on a helpful blog, gorgeousgreenhouse.wordpress.com.